Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Get in Tune. I am Michael Gracia, and I've got a really great show planned for tonight. But as usual, before we get into the show, let's talk things you can get. That is Michael Gracia. Um, First off, on Amazon, the Whimsical Whiz, the complete 2023 collection, is available. Um, it has all the strips from 2023 plus a couple of bonus pages. I am also currently working on putting together the last year, 2024, um, which is basically that giant D&D adventure that they all went on. Um, After that, don't forget Bold Venture Press or just on Amazon, Zorro's Exploits or Zorro's Swordplay and Romance. Illustrated one story in here, two in here. Great stories. Artwork is fantastic. But really the stories are just super fun. I haven't finished this book, but in this book they are all I remember they're all based off the original um, Johnson McCauley's Zorro books. So all those original stories, the Curse of Capistrano and stuff like that. It's all. This is the book where they all start off from. And I illustrated two monster stories in there, which I thought was great. Um, and it turned out it wasn't planned that I'd just do the monster stories. It just came up as monsters. And you can find the Whimsical Whiz in a kidinacomic.com or the newspaper here, Kid in a Comic. You can go to kidinacomic.com to check it out. Complete um, complete newspaper of comics. Um, Marty and Spud, Matt Hansel's comic that was on. He was on here about a month or two ago. J.M. DeSantis is in here. Tim Jones is in here. A lot of our friends are in here, but most importantly, the Wiz is in here. All right, so go check that out. And honestly, all great stuff, all great comics in here. I love when I get my copies of the newspaper in here and I get to read it. So kidinacomic.com. But tonight we are going to chat with two friends of the show, two amazing people who have been creating great work for, I'm going to say it's 5 years now, but they can correct me if I'm wrong. They are the two guys who started Fugitive Poems. Let's bring on Christian DiMatteo and James Lines. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no, don't worry. I just got to fix the screen. I had the whole screen. There we go. Hello, you guys. How you doing?
Doing
What's
well.
up?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. So that's
Thanks
what?
for having us on again.
Oh, anytime. You guys know you're always welcome. What are you doing next month? Let's get you set up already for your next show.
I think we may have something else in the works at that point.
So, um, so yeah, you guys. It's been what, about 2 months, I think now, right? 2-3 months since you've been on last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last time you were. Oh wait, last time didn't I have right after you guys? I had a couple of your.
Students.
Well, we had the student on 2 weeks ago. I
Right.
think it was, or last week, Charles.
Yep.
James, I don't know if you saw Charles Valentine was on. If you saw his
No.
face, he was a student at the college we all worked at, and he was a terrific artist. There's a game out. I think the Kickstarter ends next Wednesday on the 23rd. It's called Animation Versus or Animator Versus. If you go on Kickstarter and look up Animator Versus Games, he's the producer of it right now. He's working with some really great creatives and stuff. So yeah, total fun show to have, and it was fun to chat and catch up with him. But anyway, but we also had we had Doug on, and Who's the other one with Doug I had on? I'm forgetting.
Oh,
Um,
Animation Versus is doing amazing.
oh my God, yeah. Well, do you guys remember the old what is it? The stick versus the computer, stick figure versus the computer stuff?
Yeah,
It's based on those animations. And what they're doing is they are paying tribute to classic fighting video games, like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and all those great stuff, and creating these beautiful backgrounds and just having stick figure fights. Um,
they're at 719,000.
yeah,
Over 8,000 backers. 6 days to go.
yeah. It's insane.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I cut you off because I saw that number. You
Yeah.
had the amazing and wonderful Doug Wood and Jack Van Tomey on
Yes.
with their new comic In the Pale Moonlight, which only has like 24 hours left and could use a final push to get over the finish line. It's a great book. I've read it. We've seen the art. We had them on our own show. It is the first in a 3-issue miniseries, a closed door murder mystery with superheroes that are all like sort of Jungian archetypes of Batman, but completely their own concepts. It is so good. Jack Fantoni is a stellar artist, and Doug Wood has not yet written a story that I wasn't completely yet over. So highly recommend.
Yeah, no,
In
it
the
looks
Pale
fantastic.
Moonlight on Kickstarter.
Yeah, In the Pale Moonlight, but there was also a couple of others I had. I've had so many people on recently. I think they were the creators of the book you have online right now, right?
Yeah, Steven and Ryan with Dirty Living.
Yes, that was phenomenal.
Yep.
I got to read the first issue, and wow, was that good.
Some incredible stuff coming with that. We're really excited about that book.
Doug and Jack was a great show. Thank you
There he
very
is.
much. Yeah, no, they're totally.
There's Sullivan.
Yeah.
Hey, Evan.
So since you've been away for a few months, you want to catch us up on what you guys been up to?
A lot of eating. Oh, you mean with work?
Oh, I mean, listen, I'm always up to talking about food, but we'll do that later.
Excellent. James, you want to tell Michael a little sneak bit about what you're working on right now for us? Our next book?
So, got a couple things I'm doing. We'll be talking about Blood Valkyrie tonight. You guys will see some artwork from, well, the only artwork that I did for that, which was the cover. I've also been doing some lettering for the Dirty Living series and working on our latest title, which is Stripper Clips Alley.
Yeah.
So that's going to be another issue size release that we did, or are doing, I should say. We've been doing real well with selling the smaller issues at the cons. So be nice to have some more $5 offerings.
River One is
people like our $30 books, but it's if they're just passing by and get a little sticker shock at the $30, we now can pass them on to the $5 sales, and it's much easier to convince people when they don't really know your name.
Yeah, I was talking with Christian before we began, and he was telling me you guys have a lot of shows planned for the year, which is really cool. Different and not just like Comic Cons. You're doing other types of shows. So
we're finding that our audience is somewhat comic fans, but also just entertainment fans.
Yeah,
they're into horror and sci-fi and action, and are just looking to get it any way they can. Are happy to check out a comic because they're looking for something new. And I'm really proud that that's one of the things that we can provide, that we are providing. I'm very happy to say that my brain is warped enough that I keep coming up with bizarre concepts. But James's art just grabs people immediately as they walk by, and the drawings are of incredible, strange things happening. Because we're honestly, in all lacking humility, a damn good team.
Yeah.
And when people see the cover for River and they see the art inside of River, which is available at fugitivepoems.com, issue 1, story of a drug dealer who gets his hands on a time machine and the 6 hapless Pennsylvania cops being hurled through time who have no idea how to stop him. And that people are like, wait, what is that about? A drug dealer with a time machine? And it's really cool. We've got such unique stuff. So we got people into comics. We got people into action. We got people that are into the same kind of movies that we are in, same kind of music. And that's like, we were at the New Jersey punk rock flea market this weekend. And I find, and he can speak more to this, James's art is really imbued with the music that he loves. It's just vibrates that feel to it. And we had a number of people come up to us and have music conversations and talk about James's art. It was really cool. James actually sold a bunch of pieces at that show as well.
That's fantastic. And I will say, I've always, for as long as I've known James, I know his love of music, and it's always reminded me of like kind of like the classic heavy metal, like influenced type of art. I'm not saying it looks exactly like it belonged in heavy metal, but there was like, I knew you read it. You know what I mean? Like you were influenced by that a lot. And I've always loved that stuff. I can't do it. So, and I'm always impressed by stuff I can't do.
I'd be honored to have my stuff in the new heavy metal. That would be great.
Yeah, I actually backed that Kickstarter, so I'm waiting for.
Yeah, me too. I saw it. Do you see it's up over like 200 pages already?
Oh, is it? I haven't looked at
they keep
it.
adding new stuff. I think it's up to like 213 pages or something.
That's awesome.
So it's like going to be a bit more than a magazine.
Oh, definitely. I can't wait. Because I remember that, they were like, what cover do you want? And there were like all these beautiful covers. And I'm like, how do you even choose?
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I can't even remember who. I think I took a Frazetta cover because it's just Frazetta. But
yeah, I think I got a Frazetta as well.
Excuse me. But yeah, let's talk about your, we'll talk about your art in a second. But Sillyville says you should do Plastic City Comic Con. It's 8/23. Keith Gleason puts on a great show. I have never been up to it, but everybody who's been to the show says it's amazing. It's just strictly comics. That's the show.
Gleason, isn't that the guy who's doing our lettering, Christian?
He lettered Dirty Living issue 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So
yeah. I would love to do Plastic City. The problem is that August date. My sister's birthday is the 17th. My mother and my nephew's birthday is the 18th, and my wife's birthday is the 19th. So anything that falls around that weekend, I cannot go, or I'm in trouble with 4 of the most important people in my life. But no, I would love to. I've heard great things about Plastic City.
Yeah.
But do they have bats?
Oh yes. Well, hold on. Let's get to that. Let's just finish up James. Talk. I want to hear more about James and his art and the love of music and all that stuff in there. Because I'm looking at the Blood Valkyrie cover on the side. Every time I turn my head and we talk about James, I'm just turn my head and I'm just super impressed. I love the pose. I love everything. We'll talk about that later. I don't want to spoil the image right now and share it, but it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Talk about heavy metal, right?
Yeah.
I had a weird connection with a piece that I did. I did like a Mickey Mouse, like a fan art, so it's only for the show. Mm-hmm. I did it this sort of trippy style, as if Mickey Mouse was on acid, and I stuck the mushrooms from Fantasia, kind of circling around his head. But this guy picked up on it. This guy, do you know who Ratfink is, Michael? Yeah. So this guy's a big Ratfink fan. He had a Ratfink on his arm, and he immediately picked up on it. I didn't really intend it to be that way, but I guess because it was a mouse, I made it all scruffy and everything. He immediately glommed onto it, and he was like, "How much do you want for that?" And I had it kind of showcased and framed, and I told him a price, and then his wife's eyeballs almost fell out of her head. And then she's like, well, we'll have to talk about it. She kind of dragged him away. And I said to Christian, oh, she's just going to talk him out of it. But sure enough, like an hour and a half later, he came back with the money without his wife.
A decision had been made, a choice.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool because the Radfink, what's that guy's real name?
I'd have to look it up. I don't remember.
Ed something or other.
I'll look
Ed
it up.
Ratfink. It'll come to me in like 5 minutes, but he's also been a big influence of mine. Like he does these kind of over the top, like eyeball poking things, and was actually also built a lot of hot rods and so forth in the '60s. So he was a big influence of mine. So it was kind of cool that someone saw that influence in there, even though it wasn't really intentional on my part.
Yeah, and his name was Ed Roth.
Ed Roth, there we go.
Yeah.
Great illustrator, and
yes,
he built bikes and cars. And
yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things I would look at when I was younger because it wasn't the artwork that I drew. I'm always very clean, and I have, but his stuff was just, I don't know, it was beautiful, but like you said, it was rough and stuff, and it was just something I was always impressed by. I think I might even have a book that either features his artwork or is about him somewhere in the studio.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Yeah, I actually got a new sort of promotional thing of Christian and I drawn in that style.
Oh,
I'll
cool.
Share it for you.
Yeah.
You got to show that.
You're using those old pictures where I still had long hair, so you can use the Radfink one.
Yeah, next time you come on, I'll have a new ad photo for you guys.
Yeah.
So Christian, you mentioned bats. Would you like to tell me a little bit about bats?
So you do Comic Cons, and you're surrounded by people selling comics and Funko Pops, and all the usual accoutrement of a Comic Con. But when you veer out of the Comic Con world and go into general cons like at New Jersey Punk Rock Flea Market, you may find yourself beside a table of dead bats. And that's where we found ourselves. The guy next to us with his ancient mother, his mother was wearing a Megadeth shirt, and he's got a table full of bats. He's got a couple of them pinned like butterflies, but mostly he's got little crystalline bags of bats, and, like they're wrapped up, like they're sleeping, and they're all dead. And I said to him, I'm like, dude, are you like a full-time exterminator? Is that how you fund this? He's like, no, man. Oh, man, shipping is terrible. I get these from Indonesia. Well, there's a whole thing. There's a market. And I'm just imagining the poor Indonesian children whose job it is to go and capture these bats in these tiny little caverns and whatnot. And, I'm looking at it, but I've learned not to judge. I'm not going to look at the table and be like, well, this guy's not going to make any money. That guy made money hand over fist. And the number of beautiful women who bought bats proved even more to me how little I know about women. At one point, I finally wandered over to the table. I'm like, am I missing something here? No, they're just dead bats. They're not even bedazzled. They're just dead.
He actually had some cool shadow boxes made with the bats, so they're kind of splayed out. He had a couple that were in like a hanging position, upside down, and a couple splayed out with these like nice shadow boxes with like red velvet behind them. They were pretty cool, Vampirella type stuff.
I mean, it's interesting because I know bats like are popular in the sense where people like them. They think they're cute. There's like a, there's a whole thing like where people are just kind of obsessed with them. But I didn't know the sale of taxidermied bats was a popular business.
This is a new one.
What was funny is like he didn't even do anything to most. Like I said, he did have some shadow boxes that he made, but the majority of them were just in the bags that looked like came from Indonesia. But he made so much money. I actually went and Googled like how to find Indonesian dried bats, and I found it.
Yeah.
Yes, Life on Saturn is here. Hello, guys.
Yeah. Hey.
No, Life on Saturn's it was the grandma that had the Megadeth shirt on. I kept looking, and I saw the colors. I was like, "There's no way," because this woman was really old. I'm like, there's no way that's a Megadeth shirt. And sure enough, I kept looking, and I was like, that's a Megadeth shirt.
Here's the cool thing about the folks, the beautiful, wonderful husband-wife team at Life on Saturn. This will be made into a comic by tomorrow. That's what I know about them. It will be done. Yeah. It'll be the most beautiful comic ever drawn. It'll be geniusly writing, and it'll be for sale in 2 days because they are machines. Art,
yeah,
amazing machines.
Yeah.
So I found the picture I did.
Oh wow!
The rat
I love that.
style.
That is great.
I think I kind of colored this, but this is the original.
Hold on, I want to give you the full screen just so we see it bigger. Oh wow! I love that.
So that's that. If you don't recognize the Radfink, you probably recognize this kind of style. It's skateboarding, custom culture, hot rod style.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. That is great. Fantastic.
So we'll send that so you can use that for your intro.
Absolutely, yeah. Hold on, we got. How old was she?
I mean, 80 something.
And then we got, what did they say? No way, Grandma, even better.
I mean, it was clearly this hugely oversized Megadeth T-shirt.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, we just saw." Who they say they had just seen another concert the other night. I can't remember who. And she's like, "Oh, they were incredible." I was like, "Oh my Lord." He's like, "Yeah, she was raging over in the corner." I'm like, "Damn, what a life this mother and son."
It's interesting, people, strange businesses out there, and you always see them at the conventions.
Local bat sellers.
Yeah.
Friendly neighborhood bat sellers.
That's hysterical. It is a great idea for a story. I will say that. You may want to try to beat Life on Saturn.
No. I want to see it from them now.
Yeah. No, listen, they do amazing stuff. I'm actually I think 2 YouTube videos behind on what they are doing. I'm really enjoying what they post.
Dom and Lyd are some of the most talented people I've ever met.
Yeah.
I mean, multi-talented.
Yeah.
And Lyd's got that Felt show going on right now, and they're coming up with these concepts. I'm on their Discord, and it is one of the most. There's so much artistic production going on, and just games coming up with ideas, and then someone makes them. My buddy Rich is on there, and a number of other really cool people. Peter, they're doing really cool stuff, but it's all revolving around Dom and Lyd, Life on Saturn, who they just inspirational to even be around.
Yeah, no, definitely, I agree. I'd love to get him back on and chat. And
Jonathan, hello, Jonathan. She was counting down to her own extinction.
There you
go. I will say, and I'm going to say this. And Christian, I was telling you about this. I was chatting with Phil Russett the other day, and I was telling him there's about 5 or 6 indie creators that I know right now that I believe have the ability to be full-time creators given the right opportunity. I think Phil is one of those people. I'm not going to name all 5. I'll name the top 3 right now, because Phil's here. Well, hopefully Phil's watching. You watching? Hopefully, but Phil's one of them. You guys are the other, and Life on Saturn is the other. I think you 3. I mean, besides the other 2, I just don't want to shout out names right now. But I think you 3, because by the way, you 3 are the only ones that are teams. The others are solo creators. That I think put out such high quality work. That and it's different than what we're seeing out there. That, you know, given the right opportunity, the right, you know, you guys build that audience to where you need to make it a full-time gig. You guys have it, you know, you guys have that you have the products, you have the skill, you have the, you know, the knowledge, the brains, you have everything going on behind you to make it a full-time uh, project for you guys, you know, full-time, you know, your life.
That means so much to hear because we are working our butts off to make that happen. We've been putting out more product. We're really trying to we found more of our audience, and we're making the stuff. We found the people who are like us,
Yeah.
because we're making the stuff we want to read. And James absolutely will not abide anything that's less than top quality. You see that in his art, and it's also in his art direction, his production. If something's not up to snuff, we're not going to release it, and we'll, you know, that's that. And one of the great things about working with Alex Zapata, who I just did Blood Valkyrie in Vegas with, is that he's got that same dedication to quality. One of the cool things about, I don't want to jump ahead, but I'm just going to throw this out there. Blood Valkyrie in Vegas has like 75 demons in it, and he didn't draw the same one twice.
Oh, wow.
I mean, and I'm not talking like, you know, one has a beard and one doesn't, you know, like Spock versus good Spock. No, I'm talking completely different body, shape, physicality, facial design. Every demon is as unique as a denizen of a different planet. And he challenged himself. I tried to make it easy in the script. I'm like, draw however many you want, don't knock yourself out, and they can all look the same. They're demons. He decided he wanted a cornucopia of carnally craving cretins. That's my Stan Lee moment. But he decided he didn't want to draw the same one twice at all. And wait till you see the monsters. And unfortunately, even if you put a warning on this show, I still can't show you most of the pages in this book.
It makes me really want to see it now. I mean,
it's about as not safe for work as possible in every way you could imagine.
Picture Maurice Sendak possessed by the devil.
Okay,
that's what these monsters look like.
That's yes.
Wow. Well, let's what did it say here? I just want to see. Life on set. Absolutely. Artists have to form teams to become production. That's how you survive now. Yep.
Hey, I don't want to speak out of turn, Dom and Lid, so I'm not going to say anything specific. But you put a link out today that you guys are looking to get people to go to. If you want me to mention it, please put it in the chat, and I'd be happy to. If not, I will stop talking about it now. So I don't want to hype anything they don't want me to bring up. So
okay.
But yeah, so this is what we're here now. This is our newest thing that's coming out, and we go live on April 22nd with Blood Valkyrie in Vegas.
Let me put the what do you call it? The link into the chat so people can. But continue. I'm sorry.
So this thing came out of I feel like we're there it is. There it is. The link right there. Thank you. Yeah, please click on that link and click notify me on launch. The more people we can get on the pre-launch, the more people, the higher that Kickstarter puts us in the algorithm. We're really hoping to knock this out day one, and because we want to get this out to people.
Supposedly, as much as we know.
Right. That's the myth. That's the going tale.
Did you see Phil got a project we love for?
Did he?
Pop?
Yeah.
Oh, he cracked that mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome for him. That's one. You know, we were. I think that was the same day we were talking. He posted about that. You've hit our goal, but thank you. Very kind.
Good.
That's
good.
Okay, cool.
All
right.
So the Comic Jam, which we mention every time we go anywhere.
Every time, yeah.
Every time. TheComicJam.com. It's on Medium.com, Medium.com/TheComicJam. every week they put out one pagers around a different theme from indie comic creators literally around the world, great people. One week, the theme was a Norse Western. Actually, what the editor-in-chief, Casey, did was he did what he called a Wheel of Death, and he put different categories on and let the computer randomly select two. And the one that I got was Norse Western. And I came up with this concept of the Blood Valkyrie. And it's a one-page comic I did with a terrific artist. I did with a terrific artist. And please interview people who get projects we love, because I don't get it either. Yeah, no, it's an absolute mystery.
Yeah,
I will. Great mystery. Who built the pyramids, and how do you get Project We Love from Kickstarter? So I got this concept about a gunslinger or a cowboy who's killed by a gunslinger unfairly, and this thing comes down, this horrifying looking shield maiden, and resurrects him for revenge. And it was a one pager, and it was just really, really cool. But I couldn't get it out of my head. And I started building all this lore around the Blood Valkyrie. Who is the Blood Valkyrie? And then it was an opportunity to be in an anthology with like a 5-page story. And I said, I wonder if I could develop this from a 1-pager to like a 5-pager. And I didn't make it to that anthology because it developed into a 24-page piece. And that's where Blood Valkyrie in Vegas came from. It's a 24-page, gory, gruesome, bloody, and sexy, by the way. Oh boy, are there some pages in there. Grindhouse, just slaughterfest.
Okay.
And one shot, you get a beginning, middle, and an end. You're going to be utterly satisfied, perhaps in many ways, when it's done. And you're going to have a great time with it. And this is going live on the 22nd.
It's exciting. And do you mind, can I now show James' cover? Because this is beautiful. I've been staring at it since I downloaded it. Let me go to share screen. And that's the right screen, sorry. I have so many screens up right now. Let me zoom in here. Okay.
Good Lord, I love this.
Okay. All right. Let's just move. First of all, I love the lettering up here. It just works so well for this. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. I know it'll get a little blurry, but wow. I always like looking at your work because you put little details in there that, you know, you just miss if you don't zoom in. And, you know, this is fantastic though here.
Yeah, this one was kind of cool because I was doing, you know, someone else had already rendered the character for the book. Yeah. So it's always fun to work with somebody else's character.
So this design didn't come from you, then it came from, what's his name, Alex?
Yeah. Alex, the great Alex Zapata.
Okay.
What an incredible artist he is. And it was so cool to watch James play in that playground. We'll talk more about Alex in a bit. The man is a talent.
Wow. I'm just even looking here how you kind of have the kind of like a Celtic symbol going on in the sword there.
Norse, yeah.
Oh, Norse, sorry.
Speaking of bats, right? Look at those wings.
Yeah.
That guy's old mother actually procured those bats.
This is beautiful. Just look at this little guy down here. Love that. Oh my God, this guy over here. Oh wow.
So those were some of the crazy demons from the story. I just kind of redrew them in different poses.
And that was a lot of time into that cover. Yeah. How long did this cover take you to do?
I actually timed it this time. I haven't added in the. It's about, I'd say about 20 hours
Wow.
altogether.
Yeah.
Actual work, not 20 hours all around.
Yeah.
Took,
Yeah. No, I understand.
Keep Megadeth Granny far away from this character.
took me a while to get the pose how I wanted it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Actually, on our social media on Fugitive Poems on Facebook, you can watch. I did a development reel for our marketing person. So
Okay.
I put on some of the sketches, the early sketches, and different poses that I had.
Hmm.
I had kind of settled on one pose, but Christian made a pretty good point um, that it looked more like a panel than kind of. It's hard to come up with a sort of epic cover pose. It's got to really attract people's eyes. It can't just be anything. So I did spend a lot of time figuring out how to pose her.
Yeah. I love the pose. Hold on. I'm gonna just zoom out so we can see it. I just wanted to check these guys out. I love this is like a worm kind of creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that there.
Yeah, that was some of the. What did you say, Christian? 75
Something
demons.
like 75 completely individual demons.
So I basically just kind of redrew his demons and.
Yeah. This is
Blood Valkyrie and Weymouth.
sorry.
Sullivan, is that where we should go next?
Oh yeah, Christian just pointed out that I have number 1 on the cover, but this is a standalone, so I'll have to remove that. I just put the branding on today.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hadn't seen that part yet.
You can say number 1 and only.
Well, listen, if it's a hit, I got other locations for her to pop up in. Like,
Well, now you do. I was going to say
am I saying that right, Sully?
it's great, and this was obviously probably like a real kind of like Vegas photo that you referenced and manipulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stuck that in kind of last minute. I wanted to ground it a bit.
I was gonna say I hadn't seen that. That's so cool.
So yeah.
This is nice.
It's not really an illustration, but I think it works because I'll use real textures and stuff as well. So I usually try to, if I integrate some sort of photo in, I try to make it really fit with what I'm doing. I actually have, if you look at the Blood Valkyrie header, it's got some chainmail inside
Let's zoom in on that there.
the red.
Oh
That's
wow!
also,
Yeah, I can see it.
Photo.
I'll just bring it in so.
Heavily,
yeah.
But that's a photo of chainmail. I'm not going to draw all this.
Hey, listen, you do as easy as possible.
I did chainmail on a Viking. I did once, and it was almost killed me.
You did that on a drawing show, didn't you?
Yeah, with Purple
Smurf.
I remember
Wherever he may be. Man dropped off the face of the earth.
Rest in peace, Purple Smurf.
And this guy down here.
He is Andreas Schacht, the Satan's lieutenant on Earth. So the plot here is that this Vegas showgirl named Trina Signey gets invited to a penthouse party in the hotel that she performs in from the biggest hotshot, the owner of everything, Andreas Schacht. And she gets to the party, not shocked she's been even noticed by this guy. She brings her friend, and what starts as a party changes in several very surprising and often naked directions until it becomes a wholesale slaughter. And she has to somehow survive this absolute organ-flinging bloodbath trying to get to her friend, who is across the penthouse on the balcony, screaming for her help. And things don't go well. Enter the Blood Valkyrie. But what's the Blood Valkyrie there to do? And we have to figure out. It is non-stop action, from fun, sexy action to blood spraying action.
Yeah.
All the way to the last page. And that was what I set out to write. I'd been doing working on River, where there's this science to it and whatnot. And we try and have nonstop stories for everything. But I wanted to do something that really just happened, went, and hit a brick wall and ended. I wanted a breakneck pace story. And I can't tell you how lucky I am in Alex Zapata and Tom Lynott. Alex doing the art and Tom doing the lettering. And the lettering is, which I don't show much of yet on the pre-launch. I want to save that. The lettering becomes an absolute part of the horror and splatterfest.
Okay.
Tom Lynott is such an incredibly creative letterer. So they absolutely made this everything and more than I could have wanted. Alex Zapata, who I'm trying to twist his arm to get him on the show, but he is a bit reclusive. An incredible artist.
Look at that artwork. That's amazing. That's one of my favorite poses.
Yeah.
His stuff's
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's in one of our Containment Breach books, if you have those.
He's in Volume 4, Monsters, Beasts, and Bastards, with an incredible Conan the Barbarian style story with this just humongous spider thing beast, and a witch and a barbarian fighting it. It's so cool.
And the artwork on that just blew me away when I saw it.
Yeah, no, so good. Do you know who his influences are in art? Because I see so many different things in here. I would love to just chat with him.
I know.
Just like...
I can't answer that. I wouldn't know how to answer that. I know we have a lot of things in common that we're fans of, but I don't really know his artistic roots in that way. I just know that anything I put on the page, he figured out how to make monumental and horrific. And the funny thing about him is he loves drawing women in fancy gowns. So this is like antithetical. He loves really ornate outfits. Mm-hmm. He's also a classically trained painter.
Okay.
One day we were talking about, he's like, when are we going to work together? It was way before this project. And I'm like, well, what do you want? He goes, I don't know. Give me something with a parlor and women in fancy gowns. And I was going to do that, but instead I gave him nudity and bloodshed.
Well, it looks like she started in a fancy gown.
She did.
Yeah, she's got a party dress on to start.
Yep.
No, but I mean, I'm just looking at that face. That is in this small panel here. I don't know if I can zoom in on it.
Hey, Aaron.
This is a website. Whoops, wrong thing. Wrong page.
Oh, what were you about to check?
No, I was zooming in on the show here. And I don't know if this also has to deal with some of the coloring, but I think this is just, for how small it is just like, it's gorgeous. The way the hair is rendered, everything about this is like perfect. I love how high the shoulder is. Just, it works.
That 3-panel progression there is one of my favorites in the book. And the man handles blood even differently. I've seen other people do it. There's so much energy and action to that still pose in the middle. It's full of life.
Yeah.
And then the image that I chose to be the Blood Valkyrie and Vegas Kickstarter image is possibly my favorite panel up the top.
This one here.
No, up at the top. The one.
I'm sorry.
That one right there.
Okay.
Oh man, I mean, one of the influences for me in writing this, and James is going to have to correct me because I always say this guy's name wrong. Hermione is Botch or Hieronymus Botch.
Hieronymus, yeah.
Hieronymus. Oh, so close. Anonymous Bosch. He had those incredible Where's Waldo paintings of hell, where all these different tortures are happening in different places.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 2-page spreads, pages 2 and 3, 4 and 5, and 6 and 7. And I asked that they be designed sort of like those. And he
Okay.
got it. He knew exactly how to combine what I wrote with that concept and make it wholly original at the same time. And this is a great example of that. I mean, this is a surreal image with these strange creatures all around her, but her pose, she's not dead in that scene. She's fighting. You think that's the end right there, but you can see that she's alive and just pushing through it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look in the left hand, you can see the knife into the demon's mouth there.
Yep.
Or is actually that's not the mouth. Probably she's cutting into the head, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. She's cutting into the head there, and
folks, Kickstarter. Type in Fugitive Poems. Type in Blood Valkyrie, whichever is easier.
Or click on the link I put in the chat.
Or click on the link in the chat. I forgot that happened. Notify me on launch. We're going live on the 22nd, and this is a book that I would have gone to 15 stores if it weren't mine. I'm talking about the art here. I'm talking about the way it looks. I would have gone all over the world to get a copy of this, because wait till you see the art. Now, I'm proud of my story. Very proud of it, but I'm not bragging about my story. I'm telling you, looking through this book, every page is a visual feast. And you get that cover from James Lyons, which talk about belonging in heavy metal. Holy shit.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, I've told myself.
We're gonna pull that up again, man. This is. I'm sorry. And this is what I mean about the quality of stuff you guys put out. I mean, I don't, I think I've said this to you before. I don't tend to do a lot of violent work, but I look at your work and I just want to. I want to draw people, chopping up other, creatures and people and stuff. Like I've told you, and I haven't drawn it yet just because of my schedule, but I've told you I have this barbarian story I want to give to you guys. And I'm just trying to get through my giant robot story right now, but it's on my calendar next to draw. So
I should mention, talking about drawing and the chopping up. Doug Wood, who you had on the show, did the flatting for this.
Okay,
we're really excited to have him on that. Alex did all the color. All these crazy colors is Alex as well. So Doug did a beautiful job on the flatting, and Alex just went to town on it.
Yeah. Wow. I'm looking at. I wish I could share both screens where I could show James's interpretation of the character, and just side by side. It's just so cool to, like, you guys remember this because I'm coming back to James. Cover screen. Like, just going back to, I like the details we talked about. I mean, obviously, there's a little more into the belt buckles and stuff, but just the horns,
I really was impressed with the helm design that Alex came up with. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is just great. I love it. And I love how it's not like exactly the same. You tried to make it exactly the same on each side. I like that the horns look a little different, even in the positioning and how they come out, and how they're overlapped in sections here. Like, everything here is great.
Too, what you did with this, I mean, it's incredible coloring job of energies that are firing off from different directions.
And the patience you have, because the way you have her outfit here with Are these feathers? I don't know the official design, but feathers or leaves, whatever they're supposed to be, and how you shaded each
Yeah, I think
bit
they're
with the
supposed to be feathers.
yeah. Looks. I love the skulls hanging off of her. And I'll say this though, my favorite part is this arm. I just love how you drew this arm and the muscles, and then how
Uh,
it's what. I'm sorry, you were
it
gonna
took
say.
me so long to get that to look right, with the foreshadowing and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, not foreshadowing. What's it called? Foreshortening.
foreshortening. Yeah,
That was
I knew what
tough.
you meant.
That and the sword, especially because I did a lot of the drawings, and he's got a lot of close up stuff in there. He doesn't really have a picture of the whole Valkyrie in the book, so I had to kind of
Yeah.
piece it together. And then I had thought she originally had like a halberd, like a um, almost like an axe with a big long pole.
Mhm.
But then I figured out that she had this big sword, so I had to really mess around with. Um, like I
Well,
said, I do have a production thing up on social media if you guys want to look at it.
yeah, I'm gonna go
Uh,
check that. You said
you
it's
can
on
see all the
Facebook.
different poses I went through. Yeah, it's on our marketing person. She just put it up on Facebook and Instagram. It's like a little video that
I
shows a couple
believe
of the poses.
I'm following you guys. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna share your Facebook page here.
Oh, cool.
So if you guys are on Facebook, please go check this out. Oh, I think I've missed a comment or two. Uh, okay. It says nice POV. I don't know where that is, which picture we were looking at.
That popped up looking at the cover. Thank you, Jonathan.
Oh, okay.
Main man, Jonathan Chiotis.
Yes.
Aaron Brown in there, too. Aaron is doing a beautiful abandoned house on the hill, one pager for me right now. And found the perfect house. And man, that first out of
Yeah. Okay. I'm so yeah. So I'm gonna go watch this after the show. I didn't know this was up there. It's one of those things that with the algorithm, it hasn't popped up in my feed to see.
Uh,
So now that I know that it's up there, I gotta. Sometimes I'll jump on Facebook pages just to try to get it back in my feed if it's something I want to look at. I went down a rabbit hole about a month ago, and it lasted until about last week of the conversions from buses and vans into mobile homes. Because one of the comics I'm developing now, I told you, obviously I'm doing the giant robot. It's a tribute to all the anime, manga, giant robot stuff I loved as a kid. But I'm also doing another one, and this one is more about a kid hero fighter type of thing. But I thought about the old cartoons and stuff, or the old shows from the 70s, and everybody always traveled in an RV, you know. So I was looking up classic RVs to look at and figure out how to draw, and having YouTube tours of them. And then it was convert this. So now I can't look at UPS trucks anymore without thinking how big of a bed I could fit in there.
yeah, my buddy down south lives in North Carolina. He was doing those for a while. So they call the school bus conversion schoolies.
Oh yeah, I've heard that term on a couple
If you
of the
do
videos.
search on it, he was building those, and he came he was building custom trucks, and then he went. It's hard to make a lot of money on those because you spend so much time on them, like crazy time. So he started then customizing people's big high end RVs. So he learned a lot there, and then started converting school buses and vans and stuff to the kind of mini, or more than a camper look. Like he was doing really high end woodwork and stuff, and it was really cool.
Yeah, no, they're amazing with what you could do. I just and you watch it and you think, wow, that'd be a nice life, and then you're like, I don't want to empty my poo through a tube and find a place to empty. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't need that. I just don't need that in my life. if I want to condense things, I'll just get a smaller apartment. And I already feel my studio is too small. So
You're not
he
going to go
actually
for a tiny
he bought
house.
he bought a piece of land out in Arizona. I think he's living in one now.
oh wow,
And he's building a geodesic dome for a house.
oh that sounds interesting.
Yeah, guys, he really likes to build stuff.
I remember you mentioning him on the show, like the first time you came on or something.
Yeah, as a high school buddy of mine, Scott
Yeah,
Boyd.
yeah. I'm sorry, what was his name again?
Scott Boyd.
Scott Boyd. Yeah, and yeah, if you guys look him up, man. I remember you sent me his social media. He has.
Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of different ones. He does The Trucks Were Attitude by Alchemy. I forget what he put under his schooly one. Yeah, he's got a whole bunch of different ones.
I'll have to. Yeah, send me stuff because I like looking at him, but I finally broke free of spending all day watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And it all started because I was doing reference for a comic. I'm like, oh, so it killed me. But it was very interesting, and I'm glad it's over.
Excuse me, I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, so that was one of my YouTube rabbit holes for about a month. And hold on, so that's the plan, to live in a Winnebago. And then I met my wife. You want to know something? I'll tell you a funny story. Back, I mean, I don't know how funny it is, but back when I was like 19, I just finished like my first year of college. My friends and I talked about renting an RV and traveling as much as we could of the U.S. Go, do art, hit museums up, whatever we could do, and just really embrace like the U.S. and the art world, like the different cities and whatever. But by the time we were finishing up our first year, we had jobs, we had girlfriends, we had whatever going on that it never happened.
Yep.
And in the back of my head, I'm like, I've always wanted to do that. I've always been interested in RVs. I don't know if I ever wanted to live in one like full time, but I've always been interested in the idea of the travel in
Yeah.
it. And it's never happened. I have, my wife and I have talked maybe about doing it as like a little vacation, rent one, and just see if we can go somewhere. But yeah, like when I was looking it up, when I was creating this comic, I was like, that was in my head. What did like, how would it be? And like that idea of the travel was in there, and so I just went nuts.
Me, yeah, that's the kind of thing you just got to do, because then when the life slips in, it's gone. Thank you, Doug. There's Doug
Yes,
Wood popping in. Doug Wood, who did all the flats for Blood Valkyrie in Vegas,
looks great, man.
and absolutely did an amazing job. This is my first time actually getting to work on a project with Doug. Not quite what I imagined with him flatting, but I hope it's the beginning of many, because I love Doug, and he's an incredible writer. My buddy Mike and I, in college, for 3 summers in a row,
Mhm.
we would pick a direction. We'd grab, because I'm 900 years old, you actual fold down maps, you remember that. And what we would do is we would pick a direction and then find town names that were funny to us and choose them to stop in. And no hotels, nothing planned. We would just drive. And when the first evening hit, we'd stop in an interesting town name. We'd go out in the town. We'd party first. And then somewhere around 2 a.m, look for lodging. And which we mostly found.
Oh, I was going to say, how many nights do you sleep in your car?
A number. And we had the most incredible time. But the one I'll tell you about, the night we didn't get. And I've got a great story about being in a hotel room where in the morning we discovered someone was killed there. But maybe that's the one I'll tell. So we go into this disgusting no-tell motel, and we stumbling up the stairs. We're both drunk, and they're literally, this is in West Virginia, roaches longer than your finger running on the walls.
Oh,
We go in and flip on the light switch, and nothing happens. Nothing happens. Stumble around the room with the door open and discover all the light bulbs have been taken out of all the fixtures.
Oh my God.
I look at the TV, and it's got the name of the hotel spray painted on the side in case somebody steals it. Except I realized the name of the hotel was the hotel across the street. So this hotel from them.
Oh
So
my God.
I'm like, dude, I'm not even going to check the sheets. I don't even want to know. I'm just going to sleep. This had one of those deals where there was a toilet and a shower in a room, but the sink was outside. You know, you've seen those. So whatever, stumbling around in the dark, take a leak, go to bed, whatever. Wake up in the morning, and Mike's getting ready. He's getting our stuff together, and I'm standing by the sink, and I notice that there's 3 little spackled holes in the wall next to the sink. And I sort of track them through into the bathroom. And in the bathroom is it must have been red at one point, but a sort of copper brownish spray
Oh my God.
on around head level on the wall. And I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at the spray and I'm looking at the trajectory of the holes in the wall. And I'm looking at the spray. I said, dude, someone got shot in the head and was taking a leak in this hotel room. He's like, what? I'm like, wipe your prints. Let's get the hell out of here. We definitely slept in a crime scene.
Wow.
And that was just one of our many adventures.
But that sounds like a great time. I mean,
It
like
was a great time.
Yeah.
And we said we were going to keep doing it for the rest of our lives. But, you know, you meet the girls and you get the jobs and you suddenly you got gray in your beard.
Yeah.
But some of the best memories I ever had with traveling with my buddy Mike.
Yeah. Sounds like a fun adventure you guys had. Wow. Well, welcome back, James. Yeah, I don't know if you heard the story, but that was a really good story.
I've heard that one before.
Oh, okay.
I did.
This was Motel 666, I think.
I found some older drawings of Lord Valkyrie.
Oh, let me turn off the screen share, and I'll give you the screen when you're ready, so we can see the artwork bigger.
Gives you some idea. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, screen's all yours, man.
So these are some thumbnails. Gives you an idea of how you work on poses and so forth. So these are just quick sketches. And like I said, I thought she had a halberd at first. So I was drawing her with that. And none of these was really that final one I came up with. But those are like 30-second drawings that you do really quick.
Yeah.
To get ideas out. And when I figured out that she had a sword, so this was the original one, the pose that I really liked.
Okay.
Christian said it looked kind of more like a panel than a cover, and I eventually agreed with him after swearing and bitching and moaning. I kind of pictured her like raining fire down on the demons on this one. So here you can actually see the beginning of the final pose that I went with. So I was trying to figure out how to showcase the sword, but if you look here, this is where I got the eventual pose of it.
Yeah.
Her legs and so forth.
I like it.
And then a whole bunch of pictures of
The
sword
swords.
carrying.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the pose. It's I don't draw a lot of like sword fighters, but it was interesting to work with.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I like that. And as you were talking, I kept looking at the artwork.
This is my beer, Miller High Life, champagne of beers.
Is that so? I can honestly say I cannot talk about alcohol in any form. This is my alcohol stories. When I was a little kid and my brother was babysitting us, he snuck out a beer. He didn't like it. I like down the whole thing. I was like an 8-year-old drunk kid, and I never touched the beer again. And my brother, that was college and whatever. And then there was a I don't know. There was a time I went and I ordered a water, and they gave me something a little stronger than water. And so when I drank, I spit it out, and I was like, "That's not water." And, so, and that's my alcohol stories.
Wow.
Yeah,
Some vodka.
yeah.
I was thinking tequila.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I put it on the table and I said, "You guys could tell me what it is that I just drank." And I don't remember what it was, but I asked, "Can I have a water, please?" And that was at some restaurant I was at.
And I wish I go to a restaurant and they give me tequila instead of water.
She says
Like
here,
the seance.
seance motif. I also love how it's lit.
Frazetta.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a
Lines
nice.
originals.
Let's just.
I love this thing. I can't believe no one's ever bought this thing.
I can't tell what it is from here, but it looks great.
I did it originally as a tattoo design. I keep dragging it around. No one
I love that one.
It's a hand holding a giant eyeball. Once again, sort of that custom culture sort of thing.
Yeah.
With 2 thumbs.
Got to bring it to one of your new shows.
Bed over there. So you're not Irish.
That's directed at Mr. Grassi and his
me. That's probably me there. Yeah. So yeah. With the last name Grassi, I don't think so. Actually, my entire family's from Sicily, so.
So he's more into the grappa.
Yeah, no, I don't touch the stuff. And you know what? I mean, I won't go into it. It's not a big deal. But
it's funny you say you were an 8-year-old drunk kid. When I'm drunk, I'm like an 8-year-old kid. A very profane 8-year-old child. What was I going to say? So, by the way,
yes,
Tuesday at 8 o'clock, sorry,
a.m.
p.m.
Okay,
we are going to have a launch party so Tuesday morning, Blood Valkyrie in Vegas goes live, and you'll be able to see more art and a bunch of cool stuff. We have some amazing rewards. We got an early bird deal. We've got a tier where you can get River One and Blood Valkyrie in Vegas. You can get different containment breaches and Vegas. We've got James will look over your portfolio. We've got one of our most popular tiers on every Kickstarter we do is the cameo. You get a cameo in one of our comics.
Yeah, we keep getting more and more of those.
James is drawing this. Wait till we come back with Stripper Clip Sally. But there is a fight in the strip joint. Let me tell you something. If you get your cameo in a Fugitive Poems comic, something's going to happen to you, or you're going to do something to somebody. Nobody's gotten a, "Hi, I'm in the background" picture yet. We've got Nazi werewolves in transformation that happen to be some of the people. We've got people getting murdered in terrible ways, and not one dissatisfied customer. So that's going to be there. Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, we're going to have our launch party on the Fugitive Poems show. The art will not be changing. And Michael, I'd love to hope you tune in, and maybe we can have you pop on.
I could tune in before, but I am actually doing a special show next week on Tuesday.
Oh, no!
My guest has his own show Wednesday nights. He's actually kind of a competitor. But Jamar Nichols is coming on. So if you guys are familiar with Jamar's work, he's very popular. I hate that I'm blanking on his comic, but he's got a big kids book that's been popular. Leon something, I can't remember. I'd have to look up the title, but I'm gonna do it on Tuesday night. So going live at 9, like normal, But if I can, you want me to pop on earlier, I can do it in the beginning. Well, not beginning, whatever.
Well, what time are you going on?
I go on 9 like I normally
9 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe you can pop on with us right before your show.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Don't tell anyone about your show. No, we'll be over at 9.
Okay.
So that's perfect. So we're gonna have a big launch party. We're gonna go through the really cool rewards we've got. Doug Wood saying review my portfolio. Awesome. I review scripts. James reviews art. And then another one that was a big hit last time was we got a group that asked, we offered to review your entire comic. James and I look at it together holistically and individually, the art and the storytelling and whatnot. And we've got a cool team out of Australia that wanted us to do that. So we've got some great tiers, a lot of products, and the ever popular Fugitive Poems bottle opener. It will also be, you can get Blood Valkyrie in Vegas and this amazing and well used, I use this all the time, bottle opener. But there's a lot of great stuff. Guys, April 22nd, the day before my birthday, very important. I'm giving you the gift of Blood Valkyrie in Vegas with incredible art by Alex Zapata, beautiful flats by Doug Wood, and freaking amazing lettering by Tom Lynott. And James Lyne's one-of-a-kind cover. This is a rocking book. This is blood, gore, nudity, guts, fun, till her daddy takes her T-bird away, all the way to the end. And I am so proud of this book because of the folks that brought it to life for me. So if you're a fan of my crazy warped imagination, if you like the kind of crap that James and I have been putting out that's absolutely batshit, you're gonna love this latest Fugitive Poems entry. Go right now. The link is in the chat. Fugitive Poems on Kickstarter. Click notify me on launch. Hit it like 15 times just to be sure. And then on Tuesday, back the book, and then come and tell us what level you backed at on our show. The art will not be changing. And let us know what you think, what you're excited about. The show will be at 8 o'clock on Tuesday night. I think that's everything. I think I just did all of it.
And
what's cool here is we got these are cheaper books. We're doing this is like a single issue prices. So if you're familiar with our Kickstarters, our larger books are usually up around $25-$30. These are
10.
Do you have the price points figured out yet, Christian?
Yeah, I do. But of course, I don't remember numbers.
Basic physical copy.
Yep, hold on.
I really like the idea of the river and Blood Valkyrie. I think that's a great deal.
The early bird is only $8. If you get it in the first 2 days, it's only $8 for the comic. After that, it's only $10.
Nice.
But yeah, if you get it in the first 2 days, $8 for the early bird special.
The way things are going these days, that's like a Starbucks coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, 100%. Guys, this is a book that you're just gonna not believe it got made. That's one of the reasons James and I started our own company.
Oh, believe me, no one else would have made this.
No.
We just don't care. So
so I'm going to be on Tuesday, on Wednesday, I'm going to be 48, right? And do you know that when I started sending out info about this book, my first thought was, oh, Lord, what's my mom going to think? I'm 48 years old, and I'm like, oh, gosh, I hope she doesn't see the orgy scene. But it's in there, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And Alex drew that
anything like this anywhere.
Detail.
Ever.
Yet no one else would push shit like that.
Yeah.
No one in their right mind.
Well, it says a lot that you do send this to your mother. I mean, it's, I'm proud of my work too, but not everything goes to my parents. And
if you know my mother, my brain is the antithesis of hers. unbelievably proper. It's just a curse.
Yeah. Yeah, fun times.
Wow. Well, I think we should wrap up, but before we do, number one, I want to say I already have the Blood Valkyrie saved on Kickstarter for myself, so I'm saved for the pre-launch. I'm excited for this book. Like everything you guys do, I'm a fan of. I just wish I had the money to get everything you guys do. All the
Are you gonna buy this one, fucker? Or I come down there to Yonkers and shove it where the sun don't shine.
Listen, I do want to buy this one. I really do. It's
Come on, $8. You can
$8
get yourself
isn't
a
bad.
river as well.
Listen, $8 isn't bad, but it's
James and I have very different sales techniques. You're witnessing James's right now.
No, this one I can tell you I'll definitely be backing.
Yeah.
Very cool, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
By the way, anyone who's out there, I'm open for covers and commissions. I put my heart and soul into that Blood Valkyrie. Every cover I try to outdo myself. So that is the current level of James Line's bestest. So if you want covers, I don't mess around. I'll give you whatever you guys hire me for will be better than the Blood Valkyrie cover, because so far I've attempted and I think outdone myself each time. So always looking for those either commissions or covers on other people's work. It's fun stuff, a lot of fun.
Oh wait, hold on, what just happened here?
It's better than your It's better than your mom walking into your orgy asking me how I know. All right, Jonathan, next time we get together, I need to hear that entire story.
Yeah, that sounds like a good story for the campfire.
In front of your wife, though. You got to tell it in front of your wife.
All right, guys.
Hey, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I'm so glad James said what he said. I've said this a million times before. I can't believe how lucky I am to be working with James. If you want a piece of art, whether it's a cover or whatever it is that you need, that you want to just knock over people when they see it, I can't even tell you. You haven't even seen an eighth of what James has produced. Every time we get together, I go through his portfolios, and there's new stuff there, and it is absolutely stellar. And then there'll be something I've seen a million times, and it's totally different because he decided to do something else to it. Mm-hmm. One of the hardest working, most creative, most imaginative people I've ever met. So definitely, if you're looking for a piece of work, James is a piece of work. James is the guy that you're looking for. I
can do puppy portraits too.
He does. But what if it's a person dressed as a puppy?
Well, yeah, definitely. I would recommend James as well. So definitely check him out. Follow them on social media. Go to Fugitive Poems on Facebook, on Instagram, and I'm sure they can contact you there to hire you for covers or whatever commissions. It sounds sounds good. So you guys, thank you for coming on. As usual, it was a blast. Christian, I didn't see you drink as much as you normally do. Oh wow, okay. I just didn't see it then.
Sneaking them in.
Yeah. You guys, next Tuesday, launch party. Blood Valkyrie in Vegas, and go on to Kickstarter, click the link in the comments, or just go to Kickstarter and type in Blood Valkyrie or Fugitive Poems, and make sure you save so you get notified when it launches next week.
Yeah, get your copy so you have an idea what's going to come up in our court cases.
Yeah, and this way James doesn't come to where you live and shove books in
the sun don't shine.
All right. We have evidence A5 Blood Valkyrie in Vegas. Now, when you say the crime wasn't premeditated, You realize that you had illustrated it a year before.
All right, guys. Let's end you guys. So next week for me, don't forget Jamar Nichols will be on Tuesday night instead of Wednesday. I'm not doing a Wednesday show, but Tuesday night I will have. I'll be doing my show with Jamar, and then I will have, and this will be on again on my last show for the month. Every month now I do a crowdfunding show. So I pick my favorite Kickstarters, whatever sites, Indiegogo, whatever, and I tell my audience what books I should be looking, they should be looking at, or I even ask, and if you guys, if you're watching now and you want to write me, not in the comments here, just write me privately, what Kickstarters or just crowdfunding in general I should be checking out and I should be letting my audience know about. I'm always happy to share. All right. And with that, I will see you all next week. All right. Bye, guys.
Night.